Welcome back to Switch Stars everyone, and to another Dollar Deals episode, the series in which I take 5 games from the eShop, all priced under $5 or your local equivalent, and then give them a play to see whether they're worth it, and in the process let you know a little bit about them. Now this is the 9th episode of the series, and if you're watching for the first time, just know that every single game featured is on sale at most every couple of months, but in most cases every single month, so be sure to watch the previous episodes if you enjoyed this one and are looking for some more cheap deals. With that said though, drop a like and subscribe for more Switch reviews, deals and top game lists, and let's get right on into it. So first up today then we have Republique Anniversary Edition, a game which I've had on my radar for a while now but have yet to feature, but this one is an episodic action-adventure game which originally released for iOS back in 2013 and was later ported to consoles and eventually the Switch in 2022. Now the game takes place within an unnamed totalitarian state with the main character, Hope, confined within an experimental facility headed by a sinister overseer, and the player is tasked with assisting Hope with escaping the facility, observing her actions through its camera system and communicating with her via her phone and computers. The control scheme is an interesting one though, with the player not only controlling Hope, having her sneak around guards, pick their pockets or disable them with pepper spray, but also interact with various electronic devices in the facility using the OmniView software. And this useful bit of kit essentially allows you to hack the camera systems to change your viewpoint, lock and unlock doors and scan data to unlock new abilities, which enable you to track guard movement patterns, distract them to create ways forward, and also hack terminals to discover more about the facility and its sinister experiments. Now, so far I've only played through one of the game's 6 chapters, and according to reviews, things do start to wear a little thin in terms of gameplay variety, and also lose the way a little with the storyline. But there are some interesting ideas going on with this one, and I quite enjoyed the game's puzzle elements. Though I could definitely see the stealth mechanics growing a little tiresome so far, as things do feel very pacifistic, leaving me wanting for a little more action, and the automatic camera switching is a royal pain in the arse. But the game is permanently priced under $1, and so it's hard not to see it as offering some great value for money. Now if you're a fan of classic Breakout or Arkanoid games, then Death's Hangover should be right up your alley, and this is one that I reviewed a couple of years back now and had a really good time playing. Much like its influencers, Death's Hangover is a ball and paddle type game, featuring plenty of block breaking action, but it puts a spin on the original formula, with the storyline having you play as Andy and Bob, a couple of Death's lackeys sent to retrieve souls stolen by Dracula. Each run of the game though has you working your way through Dracula's castle room by room, defeating enemies as you go, with multiple routes available to the player, and the game has a decent variety of enemies and bosses for you to face off against, as well as passive and active abilities to help you on your way. In addition to its arcade mode, the game also contains a story mode which delves deeper into the narrative and includes some side-scrolling exploration and puzzle elements, a 2-player mode which has one player controlling Death whilst the other manages the paddle and ball, and finally a level creator, which is a nice little addition. So a decent amount of content for your money with this one. All in all though, a great little Breakout game, and well worth the $1.99 asking price. So Aloof is our next game, and this is one which draws influence from several classic tile matching puzzle games, including Tetris, Puyo Puyo and Puzzle Fire. And as with many of my Dollar Deal selections, I actually picked this one up on a whim, but I'll say right now that I was so impressed with the gameplay that I actually went ahead and did a full review for it, which I'll leave linked down in the pinned comment below. The basic mechanics of this one though are relatively straightforward, having you match up 5 similarly coloured blocks to destroy them, with you able to create chain reactions as they disappear and blocks fall downwards. However, things get much deeper as you get further into it, not only having you solve puzzles by forming shapes out of the blocks, but also using these shapes to create islands which provide defensive layers, as you face off against other hostile watergoers in puzzle fighter style battles. Unlike its predecessors though, there's no pressure on you to make a move as blocks don't fall automatically and can actually be placed wherever you want them, and you're able to flip the play area or clear it entirely, giving you plenty of strategic options. But for a full rundown of the gameplay, I recommend checking out that review, as there's way more to this one than meets the eye. On a final note though, the game's story mode can be played through with 1 or 2 players, and there's also a 4-player versus mode, so it's a good one if you're looking for something to play locally, and it's definitely a hidden gem of the genre in my opinion. Up next then we have Monument, a fast-paced first-person shooter styled after the Quake-like shooters of the mid-90s, with very little in the way of a storyline and a focus on gunning down monsters without having your ass handed to you, as this one is actually quite challenging on anything but easy mode. The game itself though follows the simple formula of blasting your way through each of its levels, hunting down keycards to open doors, snagging ammo, health and armour pickups, as well as collecting a plethora of classic weapons including shotguns, machine guns and plasma rifles. For the most part, pretty standard stuff for the genre. But overall, there's plenty of fast-paced action to be had, and it's an enjoyable experience, if not a little bit frustrating, as its enemies frequently teleporting out of nowhere to get the drop on you and make your life a misery. And a couple of minor criticisms I had with this one were the game's annoying autosave system and its lack of bosses. But on the plus side, it does have gyro aiming, which makes the twitch-based shooting a lot easier to handle. All in all, it's a decent little throwback which fans of the OG Doom and Quake games will no doubt enjoy, and Monument goes on sale every month for under $2. So the final game in today's roundup then is one for all you Destruction Derby fans out there, and while the gameplay in Concept Destruction isn't quite there in terms of its quality or quantity, it's still pretty fun and offers a nice little dose of nostalgia. Now, gameplay is entirely focused around smashing up your opponents whilst trying to maintain the integrity of your own vehicle, so unfortunately no racing mode in this one, but it does feature a championship mode comprised of 8 different arenas which has you competing for top spot on a leaderboard and earning points to unlock new vehicles. There's also a single event mode of every man for themselves or survival with everyone hunting you down, as well as a 2-player multiplayer mode to jump into with a friend. And while it's pretty simple stuff and a little janky at times, I can't deny that I enjoyed my time with this one, and I really liked its visual aesthetics with the world and its vehicles crafted out of cardboard and pens, rulers and pizza slices scattered about its mini arenas, giving it a Micro Machines kind of vibe. Overall though, a decent little title in my mind, and well worth the £2 asking price. With that said though, that about does it for another Dollar Deals episode, so drop a like if you enjoyed this one, let me know in the comments if you spotted anything you like the look of and are going to be picking up, and don't forget to check out the previous episodes for more super cheap game selections. For now though, as always, thanks once again for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoy my content and are looking for more Nintendo Switch reviews and deals, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.